You know, there's a lot of confusion happened, not because of you. Even those who claim to be Christian, or they claim to be teachers, um, it's easy to claim something, and most of people, what they do in order to prove something, they go and do a little search in the internet and they come with the answer from there. As an example, before we heard a Christian person, without saying his name, he said that Allah Akbar means God is great. We heard someone like James White. He said that the God of Islam is not the moon God. Why? Because the Quran says don't worship the moon. And the funny, most of people who say those silly stuff, they are people who hold PhD. I'm not a person who hold PhD. I hold a driving license. You know, knowledge have nothing to do with degrees. Yes, I study in university. Yes, I got a bachelor degree in Islamic law. Yes, I have a master degree, but have nothing to do with the topic we're talking about. But this is not what made me who I am. In schools, they never teach you any of this. So the question was how the word Al is equal to God. Somebody is asking how the word Al is equal to God, and this is why I spoke about those people who says that Allahu Akbar mean God is great, and the one who said that Islam God is not the moon God. So how we can get to a good conclusion in a very easy way without taking you deep into a very academic you know, deep study. Always, you know, one of the reasons people they like to watch my program, because I make things simple, and I think all of you agree, right? You do not need to be a person who have a PhD. Actually, I notice people who have a PhD always they are the last one to know. You know, PhD is something to blind people with. We say I am a doctor, etc. But you know, if we ask Shabir Ali, who is Allah, he will spend 10 hours to tell us who's Allah. He will say he will talk about everything except the answer we want. But he have a PhD. So don't make people fool you with the certificate they have. Let us see how we can answer the question about who is Allah and how Al is a word in God. I will use the Quran as usual for the best benefit, because the Muslim, they can't say we are lying. They can't say this book is corrupt. You know, can they? Didn't try. All right. This is a chapter 53, verse number 90. I hope my screen is coming right for you. Let me know, please, if you have any difficulty to see the text. All right. You see here in the English translation, you see the word Lat. Do you see the word Lat? And you see the word Uzza. Let us highlight. This is Lat, and this is Uzza. Before both of them, you notice in the translation they put the, and before Al-Uzza there's the. You notice that? Okay. In fact, in Arabic there's no the. There's no the. The translator, because today in Arabic the word Al is equal to the, so they thought, okay, this is his saying the Lat, the Uzza. But the fact, no, because remember, Al-Lat and Al-Uzza, who are they? They are goddess. Is that correct? Allah had 3 daughters. Allah has 3 daughters, Allat and Al-Uzza and Manat. And we will go to Manat after that. So what before them in Arabic? It is Al. Al. So here we have Al. Let us type it in English, so make it simple. Al. So we replace the with the real writing in Arabic, which is Al-Lat. And here we have another Al. Al-Uzza. As we say, the word Al mean God. Correct? The word Al mean God. Now it makes sense, correct? Now it makes sense. Al-Lat, God is Al-Uzza. Al-Lat and Al-Uzza both are goddess. This is why before them we have Al. Is it clear? And how simple we can make it more than this. You will notice that the word Manat does not have Al. before it. But in fact it does, but it's not mentioned. Manat simply is the goddess of death, is the goddess of death. And because it is the goddess of death, it come always by a terror, like it's like by itself, the Manat. In Arabic we say al-maniya, like the death, where death is struck, like struck you or struck you. So Manat is the goddess of death, and we have Allat and we have Al-Uzza. But who are those? You see, some naive ones, they say to you that Allah is a word coming from the Aramaic Allah or Aleho, or we have Elohim. You see, all old languages is connected, and Aramaic is the mother of many languages, and Aramaic itself is born from other languages. So all these areas, they are connected in words. As an example, the word El is not necessarily for the God of the Hebrew. It was used by other goddess, or let us say by other religions. It's a language word, have nothing to do who is God you are worshiping. It's like now in English, you say the word God, but each one of us coming from different country, from different nation, but we share this word. A Muslim, he used the word God, right? But he is worshiping totally different God. So El, it was not really El, it was Al. As an example, Israel never was Israel, it was Israel. Let me see if I can type it for you in the screen and make it more clear. Give me a second. Okay. So Israel will be like this, the true Israel. Do you see how it is? Al, and Al, by the way, is not the name of a god. It is just a word meaning God. Just don't be confused. So pagan, they use Al. Christian, for sure, because the Christianity came when the Hebrew, let us say we as a Christians, the language we are using, the new Hebrew, not the ancient one, but the ancient Hebrew, they used the Al. It was Israel, it was not Israel. I mean, it was Israel, not Israel. So El or El is a replacement of the word Al. Emmanuel, right? Israel, Ishmael. Actually, in Arabic until now, when we say the prophet Daniel, we don't say Daniel, we say Daniel. Daniel. So this is how it is. Now, in order always to understand anything, especially history, you have to study the language very well. Languages always maintain all the secrets. Anything you say in your life is coming from somewhere, and behind it there is a story, but you use it. You do not know what the story is behind the word. Every word have a story. The same as the Chinese. Chinese is kind of an art. It's like a drawing, because you attain a story by words, and words are nothing but images. You put an image in your head, and the second somebody mentioned that word, your brain, which is your computer, will look for the word and compare it with an image which is stored already in your mind. So when you say a chair, you have an image of a chair. When you say a pen, you have an image of a pen. When you say a door, you have an image of a door. When you say a man, you have an image of a man, and that what make you understand images. Here, Allat and Al-Uzza is the goddess of the moon god. Those who say that Allah cannot be the moon god, the refutation for them is here. Because if you go and check out what is Allat and what is Al-Uzza and what is Manat, you will find that those are the three gods of Allah, three daughters of Allah, which is the moon god. The moon god, he married it from the sun god. The moon is the male, the moon god is the male. And when I say the moon god, by the way, I'm not talking about the moon itself. You see, many naive to think that when we say the moon god, it's mean the moon. So the moon god married it from the sun god, and they have three daughters, which is Allat, Al-Uzza, and Manat. And this will get Islam busted immediately. Because if the Arab are not worshipping the moon god, why those are the three daughters of the moon god? Remember, Allah is the God worship before Islam, and Muhammad is just doing nothing. He's just copying what was before him. And Muhammad, he carried everything from the pagan before him: the Kaaba, the black stone, the Manat, As-Safa, Al-Marwa. Everything was before him. He copied. So when somebody try to say, oh, we have nothing to do, because someone like James White, he says to you, oh, they know this is a lie. When somebody says to you that they are worshiping the moon god is far away from the truth, because the Quran itself says don't worship the moon. And we can give tons of evidence. If you remember the story of An-Najm, the chapter of An-Najm, where the cousin of Muhammad, he said, kafartu bi rabbi Najm, I am a kafir by the god of the Najm. Let's get the verse. Let us see. وَالنَّجْمُ إِذَا هَوَى. وَالنَّجْمُ إِذَا هَوَى. النَّجْم is a word mean the star. But everything in the Quran have a story behind it. In the name of Allah, the most this is something the Muslims, by the way, add long after the Quran is written. This is why you see here in the top, if you notice with me, to prove the corruption of the Quran, the Muslims themselves, they help us in proving the corruption. You will notice with me that verse number 1 starts where? Here. Correct? So why we have this here? This is corruption. Because who is the one who gave you the right to add it there if it's not there? So when Najmu Ida Hawa, the Muslim translation says, I swear by the star when it goes down. But in Arabic, the word doesn't sound like it at all. When Najmu Ida Hawa. Hawa in Arabic can have many meanings. It can be in love. It can be falling down. It can be, a hobby, like something you love to do. So when najmu ida hawa, and when the star, when it was, either is going to be falling down or in love. But look here how the Muslims, they get themselves busted again. You notice that the word hawa, especially for those who speak Arabic, appear here again. The only difference between this one and this one, nothing. It just says al hawa. وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى, nor does he speak out of desire. You see the word desire? So the word hawa can come as a desire, and that means it's possible here for this word to be a desire, and it's possible to be fall or to fail into something. However, it's the same, because hawa is somebody fall into desire anyway. Muhammad here, he says وَمَا يَنْطِقُ عَنِ الْهَوَى, which means he don't speak by his own desire. If we go back here, how the Muslim they come to the conclusion that this sentence here says when najmu ida hawa, mean I swear by the star when it goes down. It's very funny, and I cannot find really a reason for them to say that here the verse saying I swear, because all what the verse says, and the star when it fell down. If this word here is fail, not a desire, that's it. There's no swear, there's nothing about that. If we go to the story, we find that Muhammad, he was speaking to his cousin. Let us find the story in Arabic. Are we enjoying, guys? I hope we are learning. Always when we show Islamic reference. Welcome to our free school. Tafsir. How the Muslims try to understand this madness. Right away the Muslims agree about not to agree what is the verses speaking about. Right away we say اختلف أهل التأويل في تأويل قوله والنجم إذا هوى. The mufassirin, the people who do give interpretation, they disagree. They agree about not to agree about what this verse mean. I mean, you see how funny the Muslims, they say to us that the Quran was a miracle. How a book can be a miracle or called a miracle if this book could not explain itself? And then even the ones who they are doing interpretation, they could not explain it. That's mean this book is facing a big failure. Do you agree? Right away from the first letter it says اختلف أهل التأويل في تأويل قوله والنجم إذا هوى. And people who do tafsir, they disagree about what this verse mean. Here we go. Okay, what does verse mean? Let's see. Let us see. This guy, he cannot even say his prophet name correctly. And now he want to explain to you what is written in a book. The Arab themselves who speak Arabic, they are born Arab, they do not understand and they cannot explain. But the guy is coming from Pakistan who have no idea what he's talking about. Suddenly he became a scholar. If we ask Zakir Naik, why Allah he swear, let us go with the translation. Why Allah swear by the star? I mean, this is very funny. Why God want to stare the star which is failing where? What does that mean? If this is about a falling star, that's mean the God of Islam he have it wrong, because God, stars don't fail on the earth. Either Muhammad he thought that those meteor are stars which is falling down, or Allah he thought that. But either way, whoever is making the Quran is the author of the Quran. Is my voice coming clear, guys? Is my voice good? All right. Let us go back here. Here the story, it says حدثنا بشر قال يأثنا يزيد قال ثنا سعيد قال which means he said. This is what Islam is based on. He said from he said to he said. أما تخاف أن يأكلك قلب الله. The cousin of Muhammad, he said to him, his name is Utbah. He said to Muhammad, I am a kafir. I don't want to believe in the God of the star. Muhammad, he said to him, aren't you afraid that the God of the dog of Allah will eat you? The dog of Allah will eat you? Why Allah have a dog? Why Allah has a dog? I thought dog is najis. Even Muhammad, he said that a house which has dogs, angels will not even enter it. If we go to the book of tafsir in English, let us see that. All right. Please invite your friends. You see, we changed the topic. I was planning to talk about something else, but because this question was in the chat, so I wanted to answer it. The Muslim did not translate the reason why this verse came down. Interesting. Read with me carefully. And look how the Muslim did falsely translate in English. And from his narration and the authority of Ibn Abbas that he said regarding the interpretation of Allah saying, by the Najm when it set, the Najm set, by the Najm when it's set, he says, Allah swear by the Quran, when Jibril takes it down to Muhammad. Allah swear by the Quran. In settlement, Nujman, 1, 2, 3, 4 verses at the time, there was 20 years interval between the first and the last verses. Okay. When this verse was revealed, Utbah ibn Abi Lahab heard, and supposedly, by the way, this guy, he was married to one of Muhammad's daughters, heard the Prophet saying, swear by revelation of the Quran. Swear by the revelation of the Quran. So he said, tell Muhammad that I disbelieve in the installment of the Quran. But he didn't say that. He said, I don't believe in the Lord of the Star. What Quran? When the Prophet he was informed, he prayed to Allah, set on him one of year wild beast. Later Allah set him a lion near Haran, and the guy, he was eaten by the lion. Now look at this fiction story. This guy, he said, I don't want to believe in the Lord of the Star, which is falling down supposedly. And Allah, he prayed to Allah to send a dog. You see here that in Arabic they say, in the English they said lion, but the fact in Arabic it says dog. And we can find this in many interpretations. You know, tons of interpretation. Same as like Sharh Sunan al-Nisa'i. Same garbage. أما تخاف أن يأكلك كلب الله. Aren't you afraid that dog of Allah will eat you? All right. So now we see here that Muhammad, he confirmed that he have a God. He is the God of the star, and you have to believe in that God. If we go to different verse in the Quran, we will find the following. Chapter 53, verse number 49. وَإِنَّهُ هُوَ رَبُّ الشَّعْرَى. What is رَبُّ الشَّعْرَى? What does that mean? The Arab, they used to worship a god of Ashara, pagan god, 100% pagan god. What is Ashara? We will see soon. وقال ابن عباس هو هذا النجم الوقاد الذي يقال له مرزم الجوزاء. I don't know how to translate this. Is anybody speak Arabic here? Can tell me what a jawza in English? You know those zodiac, the zodiac. Let me see. Let us see. Show you what is a Jimny. Is that the one? Yeah, this is a jawza. Let us see. Let us see in the images. You see, this is al jawza. Why Muhammad he chose that his God is the God of this? Any Muslim have an answer? His God is the God of this? Yeah, but what it win? What it win? What it win is that? Obviously, all of those you know, pagan belief about zodiac and their effect in your life, and even your sexuality, even your success, even your wealth, even your money, even everything you have, it's based on them. And this is, you know, obviously it's a sexual thing. So Muhammad, he chose from all the stars a star which is symbolic for this, and to say that he is the God of Ashara. Now, if you are a Muslim, you want to explain to me, feel free, no problem. You know, go ahead. But obviously, there is something fishy here, right? If we continue, it says here, وَكَانَتْ طَائِفَةٌ مِنَ الْعَرَبِ يَعْبُدُونَهُ. And a group of the Arab, this is Tafsir Ibn Kathir, by the way. A group of the Arab, they used to worship him. Let us see if we can get Ibn Kathir in English. Hold on. Maybe for better benefit for all of us to go in English. I hope the website is working. All right. You see, like when you study, you know, any religion, not necessarily Islam, you have to connect the dots together to get the image. Here we go. And he is the Lord of Ashara. Ibn Abbas, Mujahid, and Qatada, and etc. said that Ashara is the brightest star named Mirzam al-Jawza. Cirrus. Do you see it? Which a group of the Arab used to worship. Hold on. Why Muhammad is saying that to the Arab who worship the God of that star. Muhammad is a hypocrite man. He meet with the Christian, he say, I believe in your God. He meet with the Jews, I believe in your God. He meet with the Sabian, I believe in your God. He meet with the Arab who worship Allah already. He says, your God is my God. Here we go. I say Allah. Those who believe in Akbar, I believe in Akbar. What do you want? Your God is a Shara. Here we go. My God is a Shara. You know, the same God. We have the same God. This is why you see the Muslims, they are desperately trying to make you believe that their God is your God. It's the same God. It's not a new God. They inherited that method from Muhammad, the hypocrite, who is trying to be a prophet, compromising his belief to anyone around. This is why he included the Sabian, and the Sabian, they are the ones who worship those stars. When Muhammad, he said in the Quran that the Sabian, they will go to heaven. Based on what? Why the Sabian, they will go to heaven? Chapter 2, verse number 62. What is the reason? There is no reason. As Sabians, people worship stars, believe in creators, believe that even the God of the Jews is Satan. If you go and read the book of Sabians, you will find that the Sabian, they attack the God of the Jews, which they call him in their books Adonai. And the Sabian, they believe that the Jews are satanic because they do circumcision. But the Muslims do circumcision too. Muhammad, he copied from the Jews circumcision, but he did not even know why. If we ask a Muslim now, why Muhammad, he said to the Muslims, do circumcision? He don't know why.